Atlantic City, weren't they? And it's coming shortly now at light welterweight. Ricky Hatton against Ben Tackie. And as Ian Dark reports, it could be hard for Hatton. And how he knows it.
This is a nerve-wracking night for Ricky Hatton and his army of fans, but he has a message for them.
Put the kids to bed early because this could be a bit gruesome viewing. You know, I don't take many backward steps and neither does he, so you do the maths, I think.
Ricky has been looking really sharp, as his trainer Billy Graham found out.
He's approaching his peak now. There's a little bit more there's more to come from him, but nearly there now, ready to go against the best, and it's going to be a war. But Ricky Hatton's going to win. I'm still very confident Ricky Hatton's going to win.
Opponent Ben Tackie is from a fearsome tribe of warriors. He may have lost recently to two of the world's elite in Costa Siu and Shambe Mitchell, but he's tough, powerful, respected and scornful of Hatton's record.
Ricky Hatton is a chicken. I wanted Ricky Hatton to know he's a chicken. So everyone...
Why do you say that? Why is he a chicken?
Yeah, because if you meet like bull, why don't you come to USA to come and fight Mexicans or American people?
But is Tackie tight at the weight? He was 1 pound over the 10-stone limit and needed an hour to shed the excess. In contrast, Hatton has made the weight easier than ever, even drinking water before stepping on the scales. He believes he'll be the first to stop Tackie. Knocked out! Take that, America, he says.
You know, one thing I won't be doing like previous lads who have outpointed Ben Tackie, I won't be settling for a points win. I'll be going there to try and knock him out, but it really will send shockwaves through the division if I can stop Ben Tackie. Any win's going to be good, but if I can stop him like I think I can, I think it'll go down a treat.
And yet, Manchester's hitman admits to a certain kind of fear about tonight's assignment.
Probably boxers will know a little bit more where I'm coming from when I say you need to be feared of your opponent. You know, I couldn't be going into the fight any more confident, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, when I've felt this way in the past, which has made me better on the night, you know, so you know, everything couldn't be going better at the minute.
Cuts are always a risk with Hatton, but if he can mix ferocious pressure with cool boxing, he can score his biggest win yet.
I'm in there with a dangerous opponent, but I think he'll bring the best out of me. And you know, I've had a fantastic career so far, 33 good wins, and you know, many fantastic nights. But I think Saturday nights will be the best ever. I really do.
Barry, he seems to know that he's got to take a step up tonight. World-class fighters have to live the life every single day of the year during their careers. Has it taken Hatton a little time to come to terms with that?
You absolutely got it spot on. I think he's been a little immature up to now. Kerry Kayes has sorted out his diet, and that is a crucial part of his makeup and his preparation, and in fact in the past lack of preparation, because although he's a ferocious trainer, ballooning up 2 stone between fights is not good for you. It has a derogatory effect on your body. Now he's got it together. I met him a couple of weeks ago. He was 6 pounds overweight. He was abdominals. I was grabbing his tummy rock hard. He's in great condition, and it's just come at the right time, because as we talk about over and over again, the next 18 months is absolutely crucial for him. So he's got it right.
Jim, he's kept winning along the way, but there have been some sticky periods, haven't there? You remember the Vince Phillips fight? Phillips, the only man to beat, Costa Siu. What were the lessons for Ricky Hatton, even though he won?
Well, Ricky has got into the habit of dominating people. He expects to dominate them, so he can stand in range even when he's not punching. But the couple of times he stepped up in class against McGee and against Phillips here, sometimes he stands in range, he's not punching, and he's taking punches he doesn't have to take. He takes chances. He cannot afford to do that tonight with Ben Tackie. I would suggest regular attacks as opposed to going standing there for a sustained attack, because he's going to get caught. Also Tackie is a little bit naughty with his head, as Vince Phillips was there once or twice. He cut Hatton up, but you can see again, sometimes he spends too long in punching range without punching. He cannot afford to do that tonight.
And just the other thing to add to that, Jim, is the great thing about, or the dangerous thing about Tackie, he retains his power right to the end of the fight, so he's going to have 100% concentration, Ricky Hatton, right the entire way through the fight.
Ben Tackie's win over Roberto Garcia was 3 years ago, Jim, but what did it illustrate that Ricky Hatton needs to be aware of tonight?
As Barry just mentioned, the power right to the end of the fight, and he's a proud man. He's also a man who losing rounds does not bother him. Some fighters become discouraged if what they're doing doesn't work. This guy, he's limited in his talents, but he has faith in his talents. He just keeps going and going and going, no matter how many rounds he loses. If he loses the first 11 rounds, he'll come out for the 12th round the same as he was in the first. He does not lose heart. You have to finish. No one's managed to finish the job. I'll be surprised if Ricky does that. I expect him to win clearly tonight. I expect him to look spectacular, but this man deserves and must get total respect. Do you see the power?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think that is the vital thing. Look, this is the 12th round and he's knocked Garcia out. That's an amazing left hook. And okay, Garcia was really a super featherweight. This was at lightweight. But the point is, this guy has got tremendous power. He's carried it through the light welterweight division. He knocked out Pendleton. He's knocked out many other guys.
Has lost 4 times along the way, Tackie, but each time to top men.
Absolutely.
Goyo Vargas, John Molina,
Yeah.
Costa Tsu, and Charbet Mitchell.
Yeah.
But Barry, you just wonder whether all of those defeats maybe have taken the edge off him, just a little bit.
I don't believe that. I don't believe this guy is a sort of fighter. He just loves wars of attrition. He loves the type of fights that we've seen Ricky Hatton in. So Ricky Hatton's got to bring another element today. He's got to bring intelligence today.
Well, if you look at the 4 men who have beaten Tackie, but they're all boxers, cute boxers, Hatton may suit him more than those 4 people. This is much more his style of fighting, I would believe.
Thank you, Jim. At ringside in Manchester for us, Spencer Oliver. Ed Robinson will get his verdict now.
Well, Spencer, how dangerous a fight is this for Hatton?
Well, this really is the acid test for Hatton. I mean, he's been in with Costa Tsu, Shamba Mitchell.
Ben Tackie you're talking about.
Ben Tackie's been in with Costa Tsu, Shamba Mitchell, taking them both the distance. Has the occasional upset as well. We remember Roberto Garcia back in 2000, can punch with either hand, and this is a real test for Hatton.
Is Tackie still at his peak?
Well, I think he certainly is, yeah. I mean, he's only lost to world-class fighters, like the fighters that I've just mentioned. He's only lost to the best, and he's still winning. You know, he's had 2 comeback fights since then. And so I say he's still a live wire, and this is a real test for Hatton, and this defies whether he is really world-class.
How will Ricky have to adapt his style this evening?
Well, I was speaking to Billy Graham earlier, and he said there's no way. He knows that Tackie comes forward. He knows Tackie's really strong. He said, but Ricky Hatton is a come-forward fighter himself, so the way that he's going to change his tactics are he's just going to move off to the sides. He wants plenty of angles. He said Ricky can't box on the back foot, but what he can do is move off to the sides, which he does so well to create them openings for the body shots. So I think it's really going to be a fiery fight with Hatton doing a lot of movement off the sides.
Will cuts be a factor?
Well, he's got the best corner man in Mick Williamson in there, but it could well be because they both come forward, both like to throw hard punches.
Thank you, Spencer.
The crowds have grown. The record has too. Almost from the very start, Ricky Hatton was a big draw. Manchester's #1, Britain's #1 at light welterweight, but that's not enough anymore. We've had some very big nights here, but this could be the biggest of the lot. Hatton is ready. His big moment against Tackie comes next.
Tell me what you don't like.
Premiership double on Sunday, 1:30. Live from Highbury, Arsenal meet Blackburn. This is our pay-per-view match. For further information on how to order it, Sky Digital viewers, please tune to channel 433 and follow the instructions. Cable customers, contact your local operator. And then from 3 o'clock, it's over to Elland Road for Leeds against Fulham, and it's live on Sky Sports 1. This is the MEN Arena, live on Sky Sports 1 on Saturday Fight Night. And this is what we've all been waiting for. Ricky Hatton puts his unbeaten record to the test, but more than that, he has to prove he is something more than Britain's #1, that he belongs among the elite at light welterweight. It's Hatton against Ben Tackie, Glenn McCrory and Ian Dark for commentary after Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the main event of the evening. Prepare to welcome the boxers as they make their way to the ring. First entering the ring, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the challenger from Accra, Ghana, Ben Wonder Tackie.
Years of age, Ben Tackie, from the Accra ghetto of Bukom in Ghana that produced great champions like Azuma Nelson and Ike Quartey. This man has a reputation of being a really tough customer at world level. He might have lost to probably the world's top two at the moment, Costas Yu and Charmaine Mitchell, but he has a habit of always lasting the distance and being dangerous right to the end of his fights. And he predicts tonight, and he seemed very, very bullish when I spoke to him last night. He says, I shall make the Manchester fans cry because I'm going to knock out Ricky Hatton inside 5 rounds.
He seems to have a wonderful air of confidence about him, doesn't he? That he seems to know his destiny. You know, he's from a very tough place. They breed fighters like it's a conveyor belt, great fighters. And he's a very good one himself. Ben Tackie. It's going to be a real tough fight this for Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton's got to be smart, he's got to be educated, he's got to be ready to move to the next level. Because if he isn't, this man will punish him.
From a hard school, Tackie, lots of power. And they were dancing and singing in the dressing room beforehand. There's no doubt about it. They're up for this, and they see this as the way back into the big league for Tackie after his defeats against Yu and Charmaine Mitchell. So there's plenty on this for Tackie as well. Plenty of people in American boxing are saying they're surprised Hatton's people accepted him as the opponent. Ben Wonder Tackie, the 34th opponent for Ricky Hatton.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the defending champion, the pride of Manchester, Ricky the Hitman Hatton.
Today, the blue moon is rising. Hatton, the addictive Manchester City fan, will have been disappointed with developments earlier on at Old Trafford, but today and tonight he's got other things on his mind. The biggest fight of his career, not much doubt about that. I think this really is kind of like the semi-final. If he beats Tackie here, he's right there amid the Premiership of the 10-stone division.
We're getting amongst the great fighters of his division, and this is the step into that league. And if he does a job here, he's there, he's arrived, he's amongst the top, and we can look for the tremendous matchups with the big names like Costas Yu, Charmaine Mitchell.
Tremendous excitement, amazing excitement around the arena in this pre-Christmas promotion put on by Sports Network. 16,000 fans, and I don't care what you say, we go all around the world covering boxing. You don't get an atmosphere like this anywhere else.
No, it's fantastic, and I think American TV, they love it as well. It really is exciting, and it's really happening.
There's the tail of the tape. Tackie's 5 years older, he's taller, he's got a reach advantage. Hatton was comfortably making the 10-stone limit. Tackie a pound inside, but originally a pound over. He went away for an hour and skipped and came back a pound inside, so that wasn't too clever either from his camp. Tackie's been a pro now for 9 years, Hatton for 6, but Ricky Hatton's had more fights. His knockout ratio is better, but Tackie has mixed at a higher level, and that could be crucial here tonight. The odds for this fight, the bookmakers in not much doubt that Hatton will win. 9-2 on, but some shrewdies might think that Tackie was a half-decent bet at 3-1, only 25-1 the draw. It is, by the way, the 11th defence this for Ricky Hatton over 2.5 years of his fringe title, the WBU belt. Tremendous atmosphere in Manchester.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, live and exclusive across the UK on Sky Sports, and to our boxing fans joining us around the world, we welcome you to the Manchester Evening News Arena here in the beautiful city of Manchester, England, as it's time for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Frank Warren Sports Network in association with Sky Sports, Showtime, and sponsored by Lonsdale. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the WBU. The president is John Robinson, supervisor Walid Solomons, along with the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Dennis Longton. Introducing our timekeepers at the bell, we have Barry Pinder and Gary Brennan. Now we present our judges scoring the action from ringside. From Paris, we have John-Louis Legland. From Cape Town, South Africa, Eddie Marshall. And from London, we have Tony Walker. Our third man to the ring, the referee in charge of the action, is from Leeds, England, Mickey Van. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBU Light-Welterweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Manchester, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red trunks with white and black trim, he is fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Accra, Ghana. He weighed in at a ready 9 stone, 13 pounds, or 139 US pounds. His record stands at 24 wins, 4 losses, 15 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the former WBC, Continental Americas, and NABF champion. He is currently ranked number 10 WBU light welterweight contender. Introducing the challenger, Ben Wonder Tackie. And his opponent across the ring, ladies and gentlemen, really needing no introduction to you, his fans. On my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring, wearing blue trunks with silver and black trim. He is representing his hometown of Manchester, England, and weighed in at 9 stone, 13.5 pounds, or 139.5 US pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 33 wins, no losses, 25 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, currently ranked number 2 in the world by the WBA and number 3 by the WBC. Here is the WBU light welterweight champion, introducing the exciting and undefeated Ricky the Hitman Hatton. And once again, a referee in charge is Mickey Van, now to give instructions.
An extraordinary fevered atmosphere here Everybody senses what's at stake.
You've got your instructions in the dressing room. Don't forget what I told you. I want no naughties with the head. Won't stand for it. Shake hands, by the corners. Good luck.
Billy Graham, the trainer of Hatton, complained about Tackie's shorts being too high and offering too much protection for body punches, but Mickey Van waved him away. Mickey Van, who seems to be appointed as referee for just about every Hatton fight, something perhaps that the WBU ought to look at. Not casting any aspersions whatsoever about Van, who's an excellent referee, but it just doesn't look so good. So this is it, the most dangerous assignment yet for Ricky Hatton after 33 straight wins. In with the former two-time world title challenger in Tackie, who's been based in the United States. There's a lot of work in Freddie Roach's Wild Card Gym in Los Angeles, but not for this fight. He can be slow, but he's very heavy-handed. Will Hatton be able to cope with his power? Good right hand there early on from Tackie, who retains the power, incidentally, right through fights. He has a lot of late stoppages. Hatton will look to be clever. Give Tackie a few angles, not hang around in front of him too much. Made that mistake early on against Damon McGee, paid for it, visited the canvas and got badly hurt in the second before using his boxing skills a bit more, and Hatton feels that his boxing skills are underrated. He might need to use them tonight, Glenn.
He might. He's often very hyped up early on in the fight, and this is where he's got to be careful. Hatton, now, he doesn't walk onto anything early, make a mistake.
Big left hook! Tackie goes down, but it was a slip. Only a slip. There was a shot just ahead of that. I think Mickey Van called that right. He just lost his footing on that far side. But a good attack from Hatton, who's got fast hands and sets a furious pace. Something that's perhaps underrated, I think, about him. He makes his opponents fight 3 minutes of every round. And there's another left hook into the side of the head of Tackie. Proud man from Ghana. He says all Ghana's watching this tonight and rooting for him.
Well, we're seeing the extra speed that Hatton has already with the jab and the left hook, managing to catch Tackie early on.
There you go!
Barry McGuigan was saying in the build-up to this fight that the jab would be important for Hatton, and he's used it to some effect early on. And there's the first rib cruncher. And another one too. You can outbox this guy, Ben Tackie. Shambe Mitchell did it. Sue chose to do it. That was a kind of respect for the power he knew Tackie possessed.
Well, he's starting well, Hatton, but he's wanting to get involved because he's having some success. That could be a danger.
He does sometimes drop that left glove and leave himself open to the right hand, Hatton. Vince Phillips caught him quite often with it. To be fair, his chin passed the test that night, but Tackie might hit a bit harder. Right hand catches Tackie around the temple. He stumbled, lost his balance more than anything.
His balance doesn't seem that good, Tackie, early on.
Another great jab and a real ramrod punch that from Hatton, who dominated the opening round. He really did. He really imposed himself in the opening round, Ricky Hatton, to the delight of the huge crowd here.
Yeah, there you just see the slip. The right leg just slipped and just went out from under Tackie. There, he just loses the balance and the back foot slips away.
Tackie has never been stopped in his career so far, 28 fights. And the only guys he's lost to are 4 good-name world champions.
Well, Hatton hasn't got to worry about a stoppage. He's got to worry about getting the win here. That's the important thing against an opponent as good as Ben Tackie.
But he does want that. He wants to make a statement, become the first man to stop Ben Tackie. Has to be careful of cuts as the heads come dangerously close together. Hatton's cut so often in the past and even needed plastic surgery. It's that top-level treatment for that along the way. this right hand. And again, the left to the body. Hatton as busy as ever.
Well, he's beaten Tackie to the punch, certainly.
I think Tackie is really up for this fight. Doing everything right so far, apart from just leaving himself a bit open to right hands. But he's always fighting in the zone. He's bound to get hit, Hatton, isn't he?
Yes, he's always going to get hit with something because he's always trying to be in range. All he looks to do is step off at an angle, but always be close enough to get back in.
Said it before, he might be from Manchester, but he fights like a Mexican. And you won't be surprised to learn his hero is Roberto Duran. Again, a nice right hand. Tackie's balance doesn't look great.
Well, he's been in some hard fights and getting on a little bit now. Maybe just takes a bit of time for him to warm up.
Hatton very careful to keep his eyes away as the heads gouge together. There's another fast punch from Hatton. This fight going out in America as well, and all the top light welterweights will be taking a look at it too. Be sure of that, as Hatton looks to arrive among the elite with a victory here.
Tackie getting up with a couple of body shots that look quite good.
Can't miss him with the jab. No head movement from Tackie, who's caught by the right hand as well. You knew this would happen. Hatton so much busier. Looking to use his boxing skills more, isn't he, here tonight?
He is. He's in and out of range very well, and that's the problem that Tackie's having. He's not there, Hatton. When Hatton lands, he's quickly out of range.
It's a good strategy, and at the moment, it's working well for Ricky Hatton. Welcome back to the MEN Arena in the heart of Manchester. Billy Graham happily recovered from the illness that affected him prior to the last fight against Aldo Rios. And he gets as nervous as a kitten, I think, in the build-up to these fights. Hatton, he's just so relaxed all the time.
He's got that beautiful rhythm, hasn't he? That he's always got, which just keeps him going, always keeps him in range to punch.
Oh, there's one of those left hooks to the body. He really just moves off to the side at times just to dig those in. And that's part of the strategy. Good body shot there from Tackie, though.
Yeah, there's a couple of good ones went in, but Hatton's a better left hook to the head.
And a right to the body as well.
He's starting to wind these shots up now, Tackie. Just coming alive a little bit.
Starting to get... Stand back when I say break, says Mickey Van. Another good-looking left hook. Hatton taken longer as he's moved up in class. That's a low blow, I think, from Tackie there. That is low. And Hatton will have a bit of time here to recover from that. That was a naughty one. I can almost hear Mickey Van saying that. He'll be given as much time as he needs to recover from that within reason. There it is.
Yeah, well low.
There's the right hand as well. Hatton doesn't want to be taking too many of those. Tackie just showing one or two signs in this round, but he's beginning to work his way into it. Yep. He certainly won't be fazed by this atmosphere or anything like it.
Yeah, he's just warming up to it a little bit. Just the signs are there. Still good work from Hatton.
He's boxing sharply. And there are one or two signs of Tackie beginning to wake up and looking to just rough Hatton up a little on the inside and being reasonably free with the use of the head too when they do lock together like this. He won't mind if he can open up a cut. Make no mistake about that. Another left hook from Hatton.
Hatton a little bit open then, nearly got caught with the right hand.
You wonder whether those fights with Zhu and Mitchell might have taken something away from Tackie, taken something out of him, but those were fights in the 10-stone Premiership. So no harm losing really at that kind of level. Hatton's not fought in that class as yet, not really. Some good, useful wins, but not against the really big names. He knows that too. Wants to fight them next year, has to get this one out the way first.
Still the sharp punches, and that's why he's getting through. Hatton is in and out, and he's got quicker hand speed.
Tackie's very, very strong on the inside. All his opponents say that. I wonder whether Hatton feels that as well in there. He's good with the left hand himself, leaves himself a little bit open, the adrenaline flowing. Tackie wants to chase him across the ring at the end of the round.
Tuesday at 7, Sky Sports 2.
Well, I would imagine that the Hatton corner would be happy with the first 3 rounds, but they haven't really made a dent in Tackie yet, I don't think.
No, they haven't. He's still there. He's still dangerous, and I think he will be to the end. But it's good boxing from Ricky Hatton. Nice work with the jab and the right hand, in and out of range, and nice and busy.
Hatton, of course, in the blue trunks. Past the quarter-final test, as it were, against former world champion Vince Phillips in a rugged fight. He won that well, on points. After an early scare, a good win too over Eamon McGee in the end, also points. Nicky Van is on the case with Tackie's head, that's for certain.
The jab working well. Hatton looking for the left hook to the body.
Another stiff jab, but there's an indestructibility about this guy, Tackie, and he seems to be making a target of Hatton's body. There's a tension around the arena. People know they're watching something pretty significant here in the Hatton story.
Hey, let it go!
The hitman is having to be a little cuter tonight, and that will be the way as he moves into top world class. He's going to need a plan B and maybe a plan C from time to time.
Well, plan A is working quite well at the moment.
But he'd love to see a sign, wouldn't he, that Tackie's wilting a little from some of these. At the moment, he still looks alive and kicking and dangerous.
Well, never count him out, because he's always there and always dangerous.
And he throws that right hand with mean intent. He doesn't throw fast shots, but they're heavy-handed ones. There's plenty of weight behind them. And again, he's looking to weaken Hatton to the body as Hatton plows forward and tries to nail him on the ropes. Can he knock the will and spirit out of the man they call Ben Wonder Tackie? From the Ghanaian hard school. In such a respected country in professional boxing.
Let your head out, Ricky.
Nice little single right hand from Hatton, just picked out the blue there. Good shot. I get a feeling he doesn't like being in close like that, Ian, when he looks to hang on, Ricky Hatton, because I think the body punches are quite hard.
This might be something a little bit harder than anything that he will have experienced before as well. He'll tell us afterwards, I'm sure, and he walked onto a right hand there, did Hatton. He has got his left glove pretty low. That is a technical fold. He might just have to live with it, I think, this far into his career. I don't think it's about to change. Tackie landing one after the bell. Hatton didn't like it. So far, so good for Ricky Hatton, but so far is in italics, because Tackie's body punching looks quite significant, and I think it's pretty hard to look at Hatton. He's landing twice as many shots.
Yeah, nice shots picked out. You can see the hand speed. It's better. That's where he can get in, let his shots go, and then get out.
5th round. Tackie predicted that he'd beat Hatton inside 5. To make that prediction come true, he's got 3 minutes to do it in. But Hatton's showing tonight a different side to his character, the ability to box and switch the angles, and Tackie is still going for the rib cage. It's almost a case of Hatton getting a bit of his own medicine.
Well, you can't afford to stand about inside, that's for sure. Hatton's found out the key outside, and I think Costa-Zoo, you know, had laid those plans, and they're good plans to follow in how to beat Tackie.
Using the jab, using a few angles. Shoots a glance at Glenn and I, Hatton. And fires another right. He's doing more, making more of an impression. But you don't have the feeling that this thing is totally under control. Not by a long stretch, not yet, do you?
No, you don't. He's got to keep that jab working. That's a shot that just breaks up the rhythm of Tackie. And it's a good shot. He can then do his other things and move to the side and get his hooks off. But that jab's all important.
And will those body punches make Hatton tire a bit later on? He is better conditioned these days with a new dietary regime, making the weight easier, should be stronger. He thinks he's about 20% stronger as a result of that. And he was pretty strong beforehand, you might have noticed.
Just a little. Just dropping that left hand a little bit more, Hatton.
It's a great jab, isn't it, tonight? Real ramrod jab.
It is. It's got such a nice rhythm. You know, he's just sticking it out effortlessly.
Fast punches too, and there's no head movement at all from Tackie. So easy to hit. But the thing is, he can absorb them all like blotting paper. This man with the tribal scars on his cheeks, which were carved there by his mother when he was 2 years old, a man who fought on the streets for his meals, slept on the streets, had to earn a living from the fishing boats. That's why he's so teaked up, I guess.
Well, I think the work in the gym that Azuma Nelson and Ike Quarty were in might have helped as well.
They used to carry their bags, apparently, Glenn, and apparently Azuma Nelson rang him this week with some advice. They are distantly related, and he said, try to back up Hatton. Never seen anyone put him on the back foot.
Well, he's not managing to do that so far. But then he's not Azuma Nelson.
But he is trying to weaken Hatton with these body punches, and maybe he feels he can get him late. There's a right hand there, it gets pretty ugly. Feelings boiling over at the end of the round. Nicky Van, good refereeing from him, separates them quickly, but there's a bit of feeling between these two.
Yeah. Got sly blow going in after the bell. And I think Ricky Hatton tried to get him back for one the round before, right on the bell.
It's an intriguing fight.
It's a good fight. Very, very good fight. We thought it would be. Yeah, right on the bell that was, but Tackie had done the same to him the round before.
Yep.
Ricky's a pro.
Yes, it's almost sort of part of the law, isn't it, unwritten among boxers, that if somebody takes a few liberties, you give it back with a bit more.
What's the name of the game?
Sixth round. An absorbing fight. Nicky Van just saying, I don't want any more of any sort of punching after the bell or people taking liberties. Hatton, I think his ganders up a little bit. He went from there and just left himself open to the right hand. And I think a toe-to-toe slug out, if he's going to do that, I don't think that will suit Hatton. I think he has to carry on doing what he's been doing, doesn't he, Glenn? Boxing.
Yeah, he does, but I think, you know, the problem was Tackie was fired up. He's angry at the punch at the end of the round.
Bandage has come loose on the glove of Hatton. That has to be sorted out, otherwise it can flap into the other guy's eyes. That's why you always get an interruption for that. Back to work, and there's plenty of it.
That's when he looks hard, when he lets those shots go 4s and 5s. That's where he becomes a bit of a handful, Tackie. And he's trying to take the fight to Hatton now.
Anybody who thought that Ben Tackie was damaged goods, I think had better think again. He wants this badly. And I had that feeling talking to the camp all week up here. He's been trained by Emmanuel Tago for this fight, not Freddie Roach. In Ghana most of the way. Hatton has to just keep his control and his cool, even though he's feeding off the adrenaline of this manic crowd.
That's where it gets hard, that's where he just flails away with shots inside Tackie. Hatton's got to keep it on the end of the jab, keep the distance between them.
There's another lovely left hook into the body, about the 3,000th of Hatton's career, I reckon, just now. But still, the spirit is not broken of Tackie. Others might have wilted by now at a lesser level, but not this guy. That's the difference. That's a really big left hand into the pit of the stomach from Hatton.
That's some really nice work, but he caught a right hand there as well.
Well, he gets hit plenty, Hatton, and that is part, I guess, of the excitement value. But you wonder what's going to happen all the time. He used to get that with Thomas Hearns. He's a big puncher, but always looked a bit vulnerable himself. In the main, Hatton's chin has served him pretty well up to now in his career. Bar that one knockdown against Eamon McGee, who's a pretty big puncher himself, the Irishman. Oh, and he did just seem to wilt a moment then. Tackie stiffened, didn't he, after that attack? The leg stiffened momentarily. Now is Hatton just starting to get there with this systematic attack. That's a big right hand from Ricky Hatton that time.
Very, very good shots coming in from Hatton. Tackie just slowing down, getting caught more and more.
And another left to the body. He gulps a little, Tackie, that time. And I think just for the first time, there's a sense that something has been taken away from Ben Tackie here. Hatton, is he getting the job done? That, I think, was quite a significant round for him. But hey, they're all pretty significant at this level.
Yeah, every single round is significant. Anything can happen in any round with this quality of fighter.
I think he's won every round, don't you?
Yeah, I've given him every round. He's working so well. The body punches are excellent. He really come away with the... Look, and you see the elbow go in there. You see the gasp of breath. There's the jab and the right hand just on the chin. The legs just stiffened there. Another angle right on the point of the chin. Excellent shot.
Yeah, another right hand, and those legs just stiffened a bit. But I do warn you, Tackie is dangerous. Lady floored Goyo Vargas in the 12th. He knocked out Roberto Garcia with a left hook in the 10th. Edwin Santana, he was behind in the fight. He finished it with a big right. He doesn't lose the power. Some fighters do late in fights. Not Tackie, apparently. His record tells you that.
Well, I think it's a mark of his stance and everything. You know, he's flat-footed, he plants his legs into the floor, so he's always going to have that power.
Looks at the referee there, thought one, I think, might have gone a bit low. I think Hatton will take some encouragement from that too. A first little sign of distress maybe from Tackie, looking to the referee. It is a rough, hard fight with a lot of body punching. I don't think the tiger's been tamed yet for Hatton.
He hasn't. That's not where Hatton wants to be. Too close in. That was good with a left hook.
And then a right hand as well. That just seemed to bend the knee of Tackie, who again shoots a glance at the referee and eats another jab.
Few distress signals coming in from the warrior from Accra.
And the fact of the matter is, he's not only getting out-hit and outworked, he's being out-boxed here by Hatton, who's shown us something a little bit different. He shows it in the gym often enough, and he showed it in the amateurs that he could box. He chalked up 76 out of 80 amateur wins. But this might come down to stamina and staying power in a battle like this, Glenn.
It might, you know, he's bound to tire. He works very hard, Ricky Hatton. He's bound to start tiring in a physical fight.
And again, a bandage has come loose. I keep on making this point. It's the year 2003. You'd think, wouldn't you, in the space age, they would have come up with something that always sticks. Another right hand from Hatton, who's finding Tackie a very, very easy target, but we kind of knew that going in.
Tackie still just thumping away at that body of Hatton's, trying to get a breakthrough himself.
He's showing his world class here, Ricky Hatton. But nothing really can be taken for granted as yet. He's a long way ahead in the fight. He's winning all the rounds. He's outworking his man, and somehow, though, there's just that feeling that Tackie has the capability, possibly, of changing it around in an instant.
Well, the fans enjoying it, stamping their feet at the good action in there.
Again, beautiful boxing from Hatton behind the jab. And then he steps off to the side, tries to get ready for the next assault so that Tackie can never quite set himself. It's clever, it's well thought out.
Yeah, well, we thought if he got the game plan right, his style would be suitable for him, and it's looking that way.
Stop the swing. Get on the outside, the swing up, we can get you.
Welcome back to Manchester. This is the jabs landed so far in the fight. Hatton 66 to 40.
Yeah, good solid jabs, landing time and time again with that punch.
They were saying in the corner to Hatton between the rounds, don't take any chances. I think they feel he's doing it right, but here comes Tackie with another attempt to maraud forward, which is what he does. He lunges forward, but he's so strong that you wonder, these inside punches, these mauls on the inside, whether they're just wearing away at Hatton's strength in some way.
That's good. Hatton much better at long range. That's where he can make it easy for himself.
And all the time, Glenn, just switching the angles when he's on the outside.
Yeah. Doing that so well. It's in there like he is now. That's going to take something out of Hatton, make him tire a little bit. That wrestling in close.
Looking a very rounded pro in there now, Hatton. Tackie's breathing more heavily, looks a bit slower, and he didn't start too fast in the first place.
Good call with the right hand there, Ricky Hatton. It's a decent shot, and he's looking to hold on inside.
Rights to the head, all manner of punches. Great repertoire from Hatton. Hooks to the body, straight shots, jabs, upstairs, downstairs, and even the ladies' chamber, I should think, too.
Just so much busier, isn't he? Just the punches keep going out.
How much of this can Tackie continue to take?
Well, he's took it off Costa Zoo, he's took it off Sean Mitchell. So he can probably take it for the 12, but Hatton just hasn't got to look at that. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing, picking up the rounds, being busier.
Make no mistake about it, a points win over Tackie's a good win, and Tackie's just looking a little bit puffed up around the face now and around the eyes. These punches had to have had some effect. But will Hatton himself last home okay? He did with Vince Phillips, he did with Eamon McGee, but this, I think, is a much more torrid battle than the McGee fight was. Oh, a cracking right hand from Hatton there, explodes off the side of Tackie's jaw, and still he doesn't look like going down from it.
Well, incredible that he can take so much, but it's got to have an effect, hasn't it?
That bandage has come loose again on Hatton's glove. There's going to have to be another break. This is irritating, isn't it? And it's not really in Hatton's favour either. Well, they're all here tonight, the cast of Coronation Street among the crowd, enjoying this fight, as they surely must be. Usually Will Greenwood is here as well. I know the England World Cup winner.
There, isn't he? I recognise that one. Enjoying it.
These nights have become big happenings, and those people who keep writing that boxing is dead ought to be here, to be honest with you.
I don't think anybody from Manchester says that.
Right hand got in there from Tackie on the inside, and Hatton wanted to hold on for a moment. Just let his head possibly clear, if indeed he was shaken by that. Can he keep up the pace and the precision of his performance, Hatton here? Oh, another right hand which Tackie seemed to walk onto, but it's like hitting metal, it seems. Nothing has an effect, or doesn't seem to, not much anyway.
He's so solid, isn't he? Absolutely like a tree trunk.
Now these are not pitter-pat punches either. Maybe that Hatton will have to do it the long route at top level against these kind of guys.
I think he lost his balance a little bit there. Tackie, another great shot from Hatton.
Left uppercut this time. Another one from the locker. It's a pretty wide and extensive arsenal that he carries into the ring with him. Heads bang together on the inside. Hatton always has to be careful about that. Caused long breaks in his career a couple of times. Right hand from Tackie by way of a response, having taken the left hook. He's still believes, I think, Ben Tackie, he still thinks that maybe the late rounds might be his territory if Hatton starts to tire. How dispirited would Hatton be getting about hitting him with all his best shots and Tackie still being there in front of him and still looking quite full of it?
Ian, it's more dispiriting taking them than giving them, let me tell you.
Good right hand. Dabs away, and he does suddenly look tired, Tackie, as he came out of that, and looked laboured. Slightly pained look on the face, just gulping for air a little, puffed up. Looks like he's finding this hard, but this looks like a man who can dig so deep.
And Ricky Hatton does really look like a man with destiny, doesn't he, in his sights. He knows what he wants and where he wants to be, and it's top of that light welterweight ladder. And on this performance, he's going to get there.
Yep, he looks one of the best light welterweights in the world, and he deserves the chance to prove, I think, that he is the best in the world in 2004. But this job still hasn't been complete yet, even though it would be hard to give Tackie a round. Well, here are the world rankings. A lot of big fights coming up, with Costa Siu fighting Shambe Mitchell, the top two, on February the 7th in Moscow. Zab Judah fights tonight. You can see that later on in Sky Sports. Arturo Gatti's going to go for the WBC title against Gianluca Branco, the number 10 there soon. And Vivian Harris is fighting pretty soon against Oktay Urkal, the guy at number 8. So it's all happening in what is a great division. There are so many big fights out there, and they all could be happening for Ricky Hatton. But there's a big proviso. He's got to win this.
Well, he's doing everything right. Won every round so far on my scorecard. Really has been a great performance from Hatton.
To throw a towel back from Tackie's corner, the referee there quickly and rather niftily with a backhand, Mickey Van, the referee. 10th round of 12, this. Lovely left hook from Hatton, and the right hand too. What do you have to do to put Ben Tackie down? Shambe Mitchell did do it when those two met in the 11th round of the fight. It's the only time in his life that Tackie has been to the canvas.
Well, he looked over us just there, you know, over the shoulder of Tackie, and it just looked at his face for the first time of that very thing. What do I have to do?
Essential for Hatton now to keep his concentration, but he's so level-headed, no airs or graces about him out of the ring. He's such a student of the business that I think he'll know all about Tackie's record of coming up with something late when he's behind on the cards.
Well, he can't afford just to be caught napping or thinking too much, and he's got to keep busy, keep that focus.
And the good news for Hatton, no cuts tonight. It's Tackie who's a bit marked up, though. He hasn't got a cut as such, he's just swollen up. And there's another rib cruncher from Hatton, a left hand. And still, Tackie comes firing back.
He's got to take his own right hand there as well. Hatton can't still stand toe-to-toe with this guy and trade.
Well, it would be an absolute catastrophe, really, for Hatton if after putting on a show like this, he somehow was to let it all drain away late on in one nasty moment.
Well, he's looked so much more polished, I think.
Yeah.
Hatton, yeah, I think he's risen to the occasion, and I've always thought he'd do that. And I really do think he should be in with anybody in that list that we showed of the top light welterweight, because it brings the best out in him.
And hopefully the people watching this, it goes out in the United States as well, there will be an increased clamour in America, where he's got a growing fan club, incidentally, for those fights to happen. Maybe the Shambe Mitchell one's a possibility. His promoter is here tonight watching it and more or less said as much this week that if Hatton wins, they would like to do that fight. Again, Mickey Van is on Tackie's case. What was he, a bit free with the head there, do you think, Glenn?
At the arm, I think he's grabbing the arm.
Tackie quickly takes refuge, maybe significantly as the bell sounded to end that round. That time he didn't want any more of it. But this has been a different Hatton tonight, and it's been an improvement, because he's not only the body punch blaster, this is a guy who can outbox you too.
He said a key thing, I thought, in the week, when he said, you know, for the first time he feels that sense of fear. And I think, you know, that's what it is. It's that sense of fear. When you're scared or worried like that, it brings the very best out. The adrenaline makes you the best you can be. Tackie's thrown more, but landed over 100 less. 46% success rate, very, very high in a fight of this caliber.
That is huge, isn't it, really? Considering the amount he's throwing as well. The crowd are already in celebratory mood, but Tackie landed a right hand there, and it sent the sweat spraying off the side of Hatton's face at the start of the round, and there is a little warning for everybody to take nothing for granted. Tackie does need a knockout now. He can't win on the cards, and he's going for it. He's going for it, Tackie here.
He's been hit with 3 good shots, Hatton, and
danger in round 11. And there's always that sense in this fight which has kept the suspense going, isn't it?
Well, he doesn't want to take too many of them. He's come out with a reason and a mission, and that's to get that right hand over. And that is where Ricky Hatton is a bit vulnerable, with the left hand carried low.
Tackie's occasionally starting rounds fast, but hasn't been able to sustain it. Then normal service is resumed with Hatton looking for pressure. But we're at that stage of the fight now where all the miles pounding the roads, the thousands of sit-ups in the gym, the rounds of sparring. This is where you get the payoff late on. from that kind of conditioning. And these two have chiseled their bodies into fantastic shape for this battle.
Well, the real fighters, real professionals, that's their living. They work hard to be the best.
Well, Hatton wanted to stop Tackie, but nobody else has, and he'd certainly settle for the points win.
Some good shots on the inside there, just
Tackie.
The legs getting a little bit wobbly of Hatton as he's hit moving forward.
This might be Tackie's best round so far.
Yep, he's winning this one.
You can see the post in the distance. Knows there's not a lot more of it, and maybe he's going to give it everything from here on, but there's Hatton reimposing himself. It's a strange one to watch. It's kind of nerve-wracking, isn't it? Even though Hatton's in a big lead, there's just that feeling that it isn't over till it's over, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know the quality of the opponent, don't you? You know what Tackie is. This was always going to be a hard fight. He's done it so well, but you know he's in with somebody of quality.
The right hand seemed to get to Tackie a bit. Knees just dipped a little. He breathes more heavily and is happy to take the break as they clinch.
Going to do a better work now.
Spontaneous applause, Glenn, around the arena for the quality of Hatton's boxing, I think, tonight. They're appreciating what they're seeing, and I think they understand, too, what he's about here. Hatton came back where you saw his mum and dad there, Ray and Carol, at ringside. Oh, what it must be like for them watching this.
Well, they're always there. It must be hard. I'm sure they know how good their son is. But I give Tackie this his best round. I give him a share of the honours in that one. He did hurt Hatton with that right hand, right on the bell, just as the round started, straight out the big right hand.
There was an argument for saying you could have given Tackie that round, possibly. He did the best work for the first half of the round.
He did. Hatton come back well at the end, landing with some good punches.
There we are, look, that's how often they've been scheduled to go 12. They've completed it. Tackie 4 times, Hatton 3. This is the last 3 minutes of the fight. Tackie needs a knockout, the Ghanaian. Hatton's in a huge lead. And comes out fast himself with another reminder. He's nearly there. He's nearly completed a successful mission in this, his most testing assignment. It looked that way, and I think it's been that way too. He had to take a right hand from Tackie, who might really go for it late on here. He has to, doesn't he?
Well, of course he does. He knows, you know, that he's miles behind. He knows he hasn't getting a real grip in this fight, and Hatton's control it. He's got to go for something big, Tackie, but has he got the strength?
Right hand from Hatton. Remember Frank Bruno falling apart in the last round against Bone Crusher Smith when in a big lead. It can happen. I'm sure Ricky Hatton has got all the red lights flashing.
Well, that's what makes boxing the sport it is, that anything can happen in any given moment.
Tonight he said he went in feeling a healthy kind of fear, a kind of controlled adrenaline. Surely would have stopped most fighters with the quality of his work tonight.
It gets hard to stop this level of fighter, Ian. You're really at the top of the tree.
Right hand. Hatton beautifully picked. Again, the bandage has come loose. Are we going to have another break even in the last round? I think we are. This is about the 4th time. I've lost count that this has happened in the fight. It ought to be the last time, because we're nearly there now.
Frank Warren goes over to Hatton and just tells him to box him. Take no chances.
And he's got a lot invested, of course, in Hatton. Tackie still goes for the body.
But this is what I like about Hatton. This is what makes him as exciting as he is. The fact that, you know, it's in the last round, he's a mile ahead, and he's still going to tag it, looking to try and get the stoppage.
That's what he does, isn't it? That's why he sells tickets. Another left hook sets Tackie back. One eye on the clock now. Hatton on the verge of his biggest win yet. It will be a formality on the scorecards. It really will. If he gets to hear that final bell, and there's no sign of anything going wrong yet, although he kind of dropped his glove there and took a right hand to the temple. Oh, and he gets a right hand there, which he walked onto, and he collapsed into Tackie. That was a big punch from the Ghanaian, and Hatton wilted under that one. Oh dear, he's really keeping everybody on tenterhooks right to the end here. That was a terrible moment for Hatton. But he's got through, and he surely has won. Ray and Carol, his mum and dad, celebrate. It was a spectacular performance, not only of hitting this time, but of some sweet boxing too. I've done it, he says. I've done it, Dad. Carol, he says, he gets his feistier side from her. The sporting brain from the former Manchester City fullback Ray, and he's not worried about the judges' cards. I don't think anybody else is. He's won, hasn't he? He's won, and he's won big.
Gordon Ramsay, the chef, flips him into the ring. A great win for Ricky Hatton. Really come of age, showed he's top quality.
Hatton boxes and blasts his way into boxing's big league tonight. He's ready to take on anybody now, and I think of that there can be no doubt whatsoever. An ecstatic Frank Warren too, as well he might be. Look how many punches he threw, 728. Tackie threw more, but landed a whole lot less. 44% success rate is absolutely phenomenal.
Very, very good. At this level, that's excellent, isn't it? Really, really high.
But then this alarm in the last round.
Yeah, right hand down the side of the head. He took it all right.
And then when the bell sounded, that was just before. That was her reaction to that right hand. Don't do that to me. I think she has to have about 3 gin and tonics before she can watch.
Well, she'll have a few more tonight, I think, as they celebrate. 120, 109, that's how I had it. Every round of 10, just a share in the 11th when Tackie had his best work.
It's big, it's a landslide win. And there will be those, I'm sure, who will turn around afterwards. There are always the wise guys who'll turn around afterwards and say, oh, Tackie was damaged goods. The fights with Mitchell and Zhu had taken something out of him. But I think really that there's an element of truth in that, but this man arrived full of it, firing, dangerous, believed he could win, and Hatton really did a job on him.
Yeah, he's trained for months, he was ready.
It was a very, very fine display. But we await the scorecards, which surely this time are a formality.
Gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Tony Walker scores the bout 118 to 110. Judges Jean-Louis Legland and Eddie Marshall both score about the same at 120 to 109. All three in favor of the winner, and still undefeated, the WBU light-welterweight champion, Ricky the Hitman Hatton.
The biggest test passed with flying colours amid a tumultuous atmosphere in Manchester. It really is. And I think there are going to be more nights like this to come, even bigger nights.
Well, it's wonderful, isn't it? He did it so well. Really deserves the applause, because fantastic performance from Hatton.
A landslide winner on points.
And the message to Manchester and to the rest of the world: Hatton has beaten Tackie here just as clearly as Costa Tzu and Sharmbe Mitchell managed. Jim, what is the best result? Is it the best performance of Hatton's career?
Yeah, but both Zoo and Mitchell found an easy way to beat Ben Tackie. We'll hear
Come
what
back
he's
to you,
got
Jim,
to
in
say.
a moment, sorry.
And I'd like to thank you for your support all year round. You're the best fans in the world. I want you to all have a Merry Christmas, and we're going to go for it next year. I give a round of applause to Ben Tackie. True from all here.
Will the MEN Arena be big enough for it all? We interrupted you, Jim.
Well, as I
sorry.
was saying, both Zoo and Mitchell looked for an easy way to beat Ben Tackie without getting involved with him. Nothing approaching the excitement level, the entertainment level, the drama that Ricky produced there. I think he's now the finished article. He's ready. You have to give him at least a 50-50 chance with any light welterweight in the world. That was superb. We saw sides of him we haven't seen before. A few times he got himself into little bits of trouble, so he had to survive. He had to use old pro tricks to keep himself in there. He was never badly hurt, but a couple of little mistakes he made. I think he's, as I say earlier, the complete article now, ready for anybody, and at least, as I say, a 50-50 chance.
What we asked for before this fight started was we wanted to see something new from Ricky Hatton. Tonight he answered us absolutely brilliantly. We saw a new Ricky Hatton. We saw a boxer who could sustain his performance throughout the fight. He boxed with intelligence. He was clever. His combinations were great. His jab was great. He even showed us an up jab. Jab with the left, a Tommy Hearns up jab, hooking off the jab, throwing a left uppercut off the jab. Really sort of temerarious, bold stuff. Very, very impressive. I was really, and you know, we were talking about this. Have we ever seen Ricky Hatton hold before? He would land 3 jabs and then throw a right hand left hook and then step up and stop Tackie's work. I thought he was fantastic tonight. Very, very mature, and I really think that he's just like Jim. I agree with him. I think he's ready for the very top.
Maturity is the key too, because he took some whacking right hands, didn't shift him in the slightest, didn't budge him.
Did you see him grimace there, Jim? Is that a worrying sign as they try to take the gloves off?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he's had hands damage. How can you spend 12 rounds punching Ben Tackie in the head without damaging your knuckles? I'm sure he'll have knuckle damage. Hopefully nothing broken, nothing serious. But there's no way, after the 12 rounds and the amount of punches that he landed, must have knuckle damage, must have. Maybe we can just see here as it comes.
Yeah, well, I've seen him cutting off. It seems to be the right hand that is they're concerned about. He grimaced a little when they pulled the glove off. So there's every reason to believe that he has hurt the right hand. I have to tell you, the right hand could have been used more often. Maybe this is the reason why he didn't use it so much. He's grimacing a little there. But, you know, it's an occupational hazard coming through fights like this with guys that have tough heads with bruised hands.
Well, I can't find a single complaint. I thought that was superb in every department of the game. He outmanned the toughest man in the division.
We've got a little glimpse of the right hand.
Yeah, got a little glimpse of the right hand. Looks a bit swollen. He's holding it by the side there. It looks like he's a little tender, but that's to be expected.
Looks like he's on his way out now to have a word with Ian Darke, who's waiting for him.
Yes, thank you very much indeed, Paul. Well, back in the studio there, they've just watched that, Ricky. Jim Watt said you're the complete article, and Barry McGuigan said brilliant. Well, your reaction, what are your thoughts?
Thank you very much. You know, I always knew that, you know, this was going to be my biggest test, but I think my toughest test proved to be my best performance. I know people are saying, you know, I'm a come forward, body puncher, marauding type of fighter, but you know, I can box when I need to, when I'm in there with an opponent that I need to box against. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's necessary to apply pressure, and sometimes it's right to be a slickster. And I've been saying for a bit I can do it all, and I hope I proved a little bit more tonight.
I think you showed something different tonight, that you can be the boxer as well as the brawler.
Yeah, well, I always knew I had that in my armoury, and people have been asking for me to do that more, but you know, I do it when it's needed against the right opponent, and it was well needed tonight. Ben Tackie, he's got to have the toughest head I've ever hit in my life.
And you've damaged your right hand. I mean, he was so tough. I don't know how he took the punches. Now, what is that? What does that feel like? Is that not a break, I hope?
No, you can see they're both up like balloons there, but I don't think I broke any of them. They're just red raw, you know, from constant pounding. You know, very difficult to get the body shots off, and he was loading up with that right hand and loading up with that left hook, and near the end of the round I just thought, keep it together, keep your boxing together. It was safer when he was winging them big long arching haymakers to stay close rather than long range. You know, kept my head out of the way, nullified his work, and got through it. Like I did what I needed to do, and I needed what I needed to do to win. Like Babby said during the week, I think.
Yeah. Temper's got a bit flared at times in there as well, didn't there? There was a bit of feeling, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, I mean, he cracked me. Can't remember what round it was. He cracked me after the bell, and then he did it. Then he did it a second time, the cheeky get, so I gave him one back. But, you know, that's what boxing's all about. It's not a tickling competition, is it?
He looks ready for anybody in the world now, Frank Warren. What are the plans?
Well, the plans are obviously he's going to have a rest now. He's going away on a cruise, and then next April he'll fight again. But I thought tonight was, you see a different side of Ricky Hatton, and he showed a lot of skills in there, and he took apart a quality world champion, a quality fighter who's ranked, and also, you know, he does give Manchester a champion to be proud of, and he is. Everybody's proud of him. Great tonight.
Manchester were fantastic.
Shambe Mitchell fights against Costas Yu on February the 7th, and we've heard rumours this week that possibly the winner might be ready. Do you think there would be a clamour for a Hatton fight with the winner of that?
That's a possibility, and obviously it's something we'll think about. But I think the main thing is, you know, we're in a position now where we'll sit down and we'll make the moves that suit Ricky Hatton and not everybody else. And you know, but that is something that really does appeal. It's a tough fight for Shambe Mitchell going to Russia to fight Costas Yu. If he comes through, Gary Shaw's got him, and there's a chance we can make that.
Thanks a lot, Frank, and well done. Brilliant stuff tonight, Ricky.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Enjoy the party.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Hatton. You are on your way. A fantastic end to the year for us on Sky Sports 2. We'll enjoy the best of it all again when we come back, and Jim and Barry will also try to plot the path ahead for Hatton. It wasn't easy. It definitely was not a tickling competition, but Ricky Hatton has come through in style, a unanimous points winner over Ben Tackie. And how we have wanted that and look forward to it over quite a long time, Barry.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a number of things that, you know, we have to point out here. The first thing is he proved he could take a shot. He could hit square 2 or 3 times. He got a bit careless, but he tucked up. What I like more than anything else is his intelligence, his pace, the way he picked his punches, the variety of punches he showed. Could have turned the right hand, rather than hooking it, could have made it straighter more often, but everything was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the most important thing of all, damage limitation. No damage to the eyebrows at all. And, you know, come to the end of the year and he can enjoy himself.
Jim, as you've explained to us eloquently, if I may say, at times it takes good fighters to bring out the best in good fighters. Is that what we witnessed tonight with Ricky Hatton?
His concentration was there at all times. We expected Ricky to win this fight. It was the manner of victory that was the important thing tonight. We expect him to win. We expect him to win widely. But the way he went about the job, if we look at Costas Yu, he 12 rounds of boredom we watched, totally outclassed him, didn't get involved with him. Ricky did it the match away, pleased the fans, the fans were busting for him right from the off, right from the first bell. You could see what had in his mind, get into punching range, stay there, but smart at all times.
You know what, he's told us quite often, hasn't he, that I can box if I have to and if the occasion is right. Did he demonstrate that for you?
He did, because what he was doing for a change tonight, he was getting his punches on, then nullifying the counters. Either stepping out of the attack or nullifying, not allowing Tackie to get the counters, or sometimes he was putting his head over Tackie's shoulders, just not allowing him to get himself into the fight. It was a wonderful performance, a real old pro's performance.
We also talked about the body punching, which McGuigan also made famous, Barry, and we talked about it on ringside on Thursday night. Was it good from Hatton tonight?
It was great, and you see that right hand there we just seen an example of. If we'd have seen more of them, I feel sure we could have dropped Tackie. But you know, the 12 rounds was good for him. He needed this. He needed to be able to box patiently for 12 entire rounds at a good pace. And he proved to himself he could take a shot from a world-class punch or two.
How about the jab?
And the jab was fabulous, and what's more, he threw an up jab too. He used to jab perfectly, and then he threw the up jab, which almost turned into like an uppercut. Beautiful stuff. And I mean, I can't praise this performance enough. Absolutely fantastic.
And this is the part that impressed me. He get his own punches off, the counters would miss, then he would move up against Tackie, not allowing him to throw any decent punches. He outclassed him in every department. It's only the sheer toughness of Tackie.
Late on, Jim.
We started
worrying. He took several right hands, but if he wasn't taking right hands, then it would be a mismatch. This is a world-class operator. He's supposed to take right hands. But it gives us more credit. We know he can take it, and that man can punch.
Absolutely.
That's all part of the game. If you're not taking right hands, then it's a mismatch. That was wonderful stuff.
I just think I cannot praise this enough. I mean, I've always said this guy is the top drawer fighter.
Tackie slightly busier
Yeah, but look at the accuracy. That's what it's about. It's about being hit and not being hit. And Hatton hit him far more often.
And Hatton
His
accurate, 44% success rate.
Absolutely fantastic.
That's outstanding.
And it's just outstanding. And his punch picking was perfect. His combinations were on the ball every time. And, you know, and his body looked better. He's got his weight in check. They've done a great job. This whole camp is becoming more professional each time.
How much will that add to the fighter's performance, Barry, when all the things in the preparation are now as professional as you would wish them to be?
Makes him do it better next time.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from Spencer Oliver with Ed Robinson at ringside.
Well, Spencer, how impressed are you by that performance?
Well, I think that he's now reached that complete article. I mean, it was a tremendous performance, done as good a job as anyone's done on him, and I think he's ready for the likes of Zab Judah. I think he's ready for the likes of Samba Mitchell and even Costa Zoo. He's up there in that elite now. He's done a tremendous job on a real dangerous live opponent there, and I think he is a complete article.
He showed he could step up a level tonight. Do you think he can step up another level?
I think he certainly can, and what he showed us tonight, what he hasn't showed us before, was those boxing tactics. I spoke to Billy Graham beforehand, and Billy Graham said he's not going to box on the back foot, but he's going to create loads of openings, loads of angles, stepping off to the side, and that's exactly what he done, and he made the contest easy for himself. When do you ever see Ricky Hatton after 12 rounds finishing with no marks on his face?
Thank you, Spencer.